Hello everyone. Welcome to my GMB News 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The first sound of the morning in Ben Shephard's house was never gentle. It wasn't birdsong or soft sunlight slipping through curtains. It was an alarm clock slicing through darkness like a blade, sharp, unkind, and absolutely non-negotiable. Somewhere in the dim glow of a bedroom in Essex, the numbers would flicker. 3:30 a.m. And every single time, Ben would lie there for half a second longer than he should, staring at the ceiling as if it might suddenly offer him permission to stay. Just 5 more minutes, his mind would whisper. The same lie it tells millions of people every morning. But Ben Shephard's mornings were not ordinary mornings. They belonged to live television, studio lights, urgent headlines, and the unpredictable rhythm of breakfast TV. For years, from his early days on Channel 4's The Bigger Breakfast to his long-standing presence on Good Morning Britain, Ben had built a reputation as one of Britain's most reliable morning voices. The irony, of course, was that he was also one of the least naturally suited to waking up early. That was where Annie came in. His wife didn't just share his home. She shared his alarm clock battle. And more often than not, she won. On the mornings when Ben's hand would drift toward the snooze button like it had a life of its own, Annie's voice would cut through the fog. "Get up," she'd say firmly. Or sometimes, when words weren't enough, it would be the legendary "kick up the backside" he joked about on air. Not cruel, not harsh. Just enough reality to pull him back from the edge of sleep. Because Annie understood something very important. Ben wasn't just getting up for himself. He was getting up for millions of viewers who were still half asleep, reaching for their first cup of tea, trusting him to bring them the world. Still, even a seasoned presenter like Ben Shephard wasn't immune to the universal truth of mornings. As he once confessed on BBC Radio 2, there is no alarm clock in the world that feels nice. Not at 3:15 a.m. Not at 3:30 a.m. Not even at 6 a.m. The hour doesn't matter. The feeling is always the same, betrayal by time itself. You always want an extra 5 minutes, he admitted with a laugh, and it was a truth so simple it almost hurt. Because those 5 minutes are never just 5 minutes. They are comfort, warmth, dream fragments that haven't yet been fully surrendered to reality. But Ben had learned a trick over the years. It wasn't complicated, and it wasn't technical. It wasn't a special alarm app or a scientific sleep hack. It was momentum. The rule was simple. Don't negotiate with the bed. The moment the alarm went off, he moved. No thinking. No bargaining. No, just a moment. Because he knew that the moment hesitation entered the room, the bed would win. And sometimes, when even that failed, Annie's voice would finish the job. There was something quietly beautiful about that partnership. While the world saw Ben Shephard as the energetic, smiling face of morning television, behind the scenes it was a shared routine built on discipline, humor, and love disguised as tough motivation. By the time most of Britain was waking up, Ben was already halfway through his day, coffee in hand, scripts in mind, ready for cameras that didn't care how early the alarm rang. And every now and then, as he stepped into the bright lights of the studio, he would think of that moment at 3:30 a.m. The battle between comfort and commitment. He always won. Not because it was easy, but because somewhere at home, Annie had made sure of it.